All right, all right. Thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome, welcome, welcome to the Surge365 regional event, Baltimore, free in 23 Baltimore event. I tell you what, you don't want to miss a point. There's no way that we can recreate what happened at that event. Let me tell you, a lot of people are saying this was the best Surge 365 event or regional event that they've attended, just because of the spirit, the camaraderie, the excitement, the announcements. Everything was absolutely amazing. And we're going to hear today from some people who were there that are willing to share with us some of the things that they picked up on, some of the things that they learned, and oh my gosh, just some of the things that happened at that event. If you can, I'd love for you to turn your videos on. If you're dialing in via phone, that's fine. But if not, if you could turn your videos on and let us see your smiling faces. If you can. If you can't, we definitely understand that. However, I want to give you an opportunity to hear from the leaders that were there. And I say that leaders because leaders go to events to get the information that they need to win. Leaders are leaders. They show up and they follow the play, and they're there, their servant leadership, and they're there to do what they need to do. Like, I know a lot of the leaders that were there, they've already put the dates on their calendars of the next event. They've already realized that there are things that they need to do. If you are on the line and you aren't speaking, I'm hearing a little background noise. If you would, please press mute on your phone or on your line. And so we are in a space where we can virtually explode. And I'm going to be going through some things. But before we get started, I want to hear from some of the leaders on the line. Please chime in and let us know what you got from this weekend's event. What are y'all ready? What's going on? I'm going to call on, I guess I'll call on people, but I'm going to call on none other than my partner in life, the gentleman that asked me to walk this walk with him, the gentleman that truly is the cream in my coffee and the sugar in my tea. He definitely takes care of me, none other than Mr. Nick Brown. Nick Brown, what did you get from, and I know you got a lot, and there's no way that you can tell us everything, but what did you get from this weekend's event?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, superstar.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to all the team members who were there, and it was an amazing day. The energy that was in the room was by bar none the best that we've had at any event that we have gone to since they have had this tour. I mean, the DMV showed up and they showed out. And on Friday, we had an opportunity to have a very intense boot camp with the leaders of the company. We were blessed to be able to be in the meeting with the directors and the ambassadors. And I'm telling you that at this point in time in your career, wherever you are in Surge 365, it is in behooves you to get to the next level. And right now, your first thing that you want to do, if you have not achieved it yet, is to become 3 and free. So whatever you need to do to become 3 and free, that's what you need to do. But the President Coakley and CEO Scott Comer poured into us. I mean, just the electricity that was in the room, the camaraderie, the interaction that we had with all the other partners, the sideline partners, the directors. It was just amazing. And here is the thing that you hear us constantly talk about each and every time that we go to these events, of how we reconnect with someone that we had not connected with before, how we build these relationships so that we can have a connection with these people, so that if we have folks in their area, we can call on them, and vice versa. If they have someone here and you have no issues, they, you know somebody's going to greet and take care of your person. I mean, it was just an amazing platform overall. And I just applaud everybody who showed up, and looking forward to us going to Houston but you know, there's something else that's coming up, another experience in March. And I think Ann will talk about that a little bit later. So
Awesome,
I'm on
awesome.
fire. I'm ready to do some amazing things. My question is to the leaders that are on the phone, on the line, who's ready to step up and go to the next level? Because that's the position that we're in right now. We are running to go to the next level, and we are ready to lock arms with everybody who's positioned to do that. So come on, let us know who you are so we can put together a strategic plan so that we can move forward. Thank you, and back to you.
All right, all right. We also have none other than the awesome couple, Michelle and Mike McDaniel, who were there in the house. Can y'all tell us what you got from this event this weekend? Now, first of all, I want to give kudos, shout outs, and high fives to Michelle, because let me tell you, she is a superstar servant leader. She actually ran the front desk. And one of the things I love about it is that she keeps up with things. And then afterwards, she just makes sure everything is in balance, everything is in order. So when she left, all I had to do was really turn it over to Clint, give him the report of the status, and it was absolutely amazing. Michelle and Mike McDaniel, would you unmute and tell us what you got from the event?
Okay. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Just want to say I had a very good time, a very exciting time Saturday. I can tell you that the information that was given, that was shared, kind of re-engaged you, gave you more information as far as to re-energize you to pretty much to do some of the things that you kind of hesitated to do. So I thought some of the information and testimonies that were given and shared kind of inspired me. I know it kind of inspired some of the other partners that were attending. So the most thing I got out of it was the testimonies and the re-encouragement to go ahead and step out that box and do what you have to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Michelle, what about you?
Yeah, so exactly. Just like everyone else has already said before me, the fact that you get to put names with those put faces with the names that you hear on the calls, that you hear the leaders presenting and things like that, but just to see to meet people in person, to be able to, just like Nick said, to connect with them and have an actual start a relationship with them, that was really a great thing. Two of the things that I got out of what Dr. Christopher Coakley said was, one thing is it's all about mindset, which that's always being said every time really that anyone speaks about anything. It's about mindset. And don't become obsessed with your goal setting, because it's about teamwork. And if you set a goal, you need to actually write it down and put a date to it so you can go back and have milestones that you can check off. And then the other thing is, live your life right. Don't blame anyone else. It's your responsibility, because it's what you want to achieve and get out of this business. So you can't blame anybody else if you're not putting forth the effort to do and create the lifestyle that you want. So those are some of the things that I got out.
Man, that's powerful. Those are powerful, powerful points. Oh my goodness. I know we have Michelle Thomas on the line who was there as well. Michelle Thomas, what did you get from this, from the Baltimore experience?
Yes, and can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, superstar.
Okay, I apologize for the background noise. I'm gonna keep it short. I'm not in a place where I can really put my video on, but let me tell you, excitement. The energy, the DMV was in the house. First and foremost, it was just about, how everything just came together in terms of how we represented in DMV and how we were just united in everything from managing the door to making sure people, were seated and, felt welcome. And, it was a true blackout. Oh my goodness, it was looking good. And the banners, oh my goodness, the only thing missing is you. That was a powerful, powerful statement, and how we were unified and just, just set that message, and everybody just, they was welcome and open, and they really wanted to be a part of it. But what everyone else has already said, what Nick has said, and what Michelle and Mike have said, it's all about you got to show up. And it's nothing like being in a place where you are reunited with people and you're seeing people that you hadn't seen before, or had only connected online or whatever. But it was just good to connect and seeing people. That was so exciting. It always is. But for me, it's just so moving when Scott just kind of put it in perspective about your vision, when he talked about Coach and what he went through to get them where they are now with his vision, and his involvement with building the two companies, with Prime America and with Surge, right? And how, even though sometimes you have to walk alone, and you just need to understand that everyone that you think is going to be on your side, the people you feel like you can depend on, they may not be there, and they don't even know why. They don't even know why they're saying no, even your family. But in the long run, you just have to stay true to you, because it's gonna work out when God puts you in position for your mission. Then He's gonna bring you to your vision, and that was nothing more powerful than Scott just resonating and talking about Coach, and how even though he had rejection from the people who was the closest to him, um, and how they kind of shamed him, he just held on to it. He said, "You know what? I see it even if you don't, and I'm going to make this happen and walk this path." And had he not done that, if he relied on the people, if he relied on their yeses and their acceptance, he would have not put his family in the position that they did for the legacy of wealth that they have right now. So all I can say is stay true to you. Keep going, stay on the path. If you got the vision, keep going. Don't let anybody stop you from getting the success that you deserve. So there was a lot of other nuggets, but that was the most insightful. And then some of the encouragement that Juliet gave us as well, in terms of it's about numbers, and you just got to find the right people, to partner with you. So anyway, back to you. Back
That
to you.
You're absolutely right. All of those points, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I want to see if Phil or Sandy are on the line, our national builders out of Ohio. They were there this weekend. I know Phil runs a catering company, and he's not able to be on, but I think Sandy might be on. Sandy, are you out there?
I am on here. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic. Sandy, you know what? I was so impressed, because you, at the end, you said, you know what? I really got a lot out of this, because I know I've seen you at different events. Could you share with us what you got from this Baltimore experience?
Well, I've been to, Phil's been more involved in this than I have been. I've always supported him with it, but I'm stepping up now and trying to get more involved in it. And this really touched home for me this weekend. This was the best thing I could have done. And it gave me a new, it just gave me a new hope, and, getting down on, not people saying no to you, and, they're going to do something and then they change their mind. It was just an inspiration that it really helped me see to be determined not to give up anymore. I'm going to try to plug forward and, make this really work. And it was just the unity of family there. Everybody, there's no judgment there. We're all family. And that I really got a lot out of it this weekend. It was just a true, wonderful experience.
Wow, wow. I tell you what, just to see your face and the excitement and your eyes, when you get excited, your eyes just pop over. You're like, I just learned more this time. And I was just like, oh my God, she's getting it. That was absolutely amazing. I want to thank you so much because I know you guys are busy. And I want to thank you so much for joining us today. And so, do we have anybody else on the line? Am I missing anyone? Well, I'm just going to quickly go through some things that we talked about because I want you to be able to, if you want to take notes, I'm going to go and I'm also going to go through some announcements as well. So we want to thank you so much for joining us. And I am recording, so I want you to be able to see and just be able to go through this again and again. I'll post it in our Facebook page for those that who weren't able to make it tonight. And so I'm just going to briefly go through. Now, again, there is no way I can tell you everything that happened. There's no way I can recreate it, but I would like to share with you some of the things that they shared in the Director and National Building Training on Friday. First of all, he started out with the status of the company. He said, great, we've had more production in this last quarter than we've had all year for last year. And they contribute that towards people coming out from COVID, people not wanting to go back to work, people in that zone where they're looking for something else, ready to go for their goals and dreams. So he just encouraged us to keep talking to people. He also said it's time for Jericho. He told the story of how they walked around Jericho until the walls fell down. Now, I'm not the most biblical person, but he did share a beautiful story. And he said, it's time for our Jericho. It's time for our walls to fall and to get out there and show people what we have. He talked about the future. He talked about his vision, and he talked about, hey, we are about to create more bonus earners. We are about to create more ring earners. They're ordering more rings. We are about to create more car owners, give out more cars and more champions. And so he said, I want you all to visualize yourself in those spots because we're going to give them out, and it may as well be you. He also talked about, again, is in your mindset, have an expectation to win and set that expectation throughout your team. So he said, tell people that they are winners, communicate that, because 90% of winning is right here between your ears. And so a lot of people don't get motivated. A lot of people don't get the positive energy. So as leaders, he told us that we should be that positive energy. And leadership and learning are indispensable to each other, because he said, hey, what are you learning right now? What courses are you taking? What are you reading? Because whatever you do will duplicate. And so you want to make sure you're duplicating that learning and leadership in your organization. He said, make things in a way that people can duplicate it. Don't make it so complicated, because this is not complicated. And teach everyone how to go into their back office, download their presentation, and do the presentation, do the company presentation, and do it successfully. So you've got to teach people what it is that we have to do. It's our responsibility to teach people what it is that we want them to do. Now, he did a big session on goal setting, and we're gonna be focusing on goals. What are your goals? And then the question that you want to ask yourself that I think is powerful: what is the price you're willing to pay to achieve your goals? If you let that set in, when you write down your goal, if it's that new house, if it's that new car, if it's to become debt-free, what's that? How much debt do you have? Is it $20,000? Is it $50,000? Is it $100,000? What is it? And what would it feel like to be debt-free? And what is the price that you're willing to pay? How much time, how much energy to just keep that goal in front of you, to never have another bill collector calling your house, to never have any of those notices coming in with the red print on it, to never have to worry about that. What is the price that you're willing to pay? And then what's your time frame? What's your deadline? You know, and how you going to map up to that? What's your game plan to achieve your goal? Get a mentor to help you set that game plan. And then you want to write them down on a 3x5 card. You want to get some index cards, write down your goals and put them in your pocket and look at them 3 to 5 times a day. That's right. And they don't have to be, there's no way that you can put all your lifetime goals on that 3x5 card, but put your immediate goals. And I would suggest that if you are not 3 and free, let that be your goal. If you are SBA and you need to upgrade to the tip or the top, let that be a goal and put a date that you're going to do that. If you want to get that $500 bonus, you're an SBA, you want to get that $500, put the date down that you're going to achieve your $500 bonus. Then you want to put a date down that when you're going to achieve your $1,000 bonus, your first $500 bonus, your first $1,000 bonus. And then you want to put, what are you going to do with it? If you get that $500 or $1,000, are you going to pay a bill with it? Are you going to, but I encourage you to, if you get a $500 bonus, make sure you set aside a percentage of that to give back to your team. Make sure you remember that. With every bonus that you achieve, make sure you establish a percentage to give back to your team, because teamwork makes the dream work. Those people who came to convention, they got banners. That was our gift for their time, for their energy, for coming back. And how do we get those? We earned a $500 bonus. Those people that came to convention from our team got t-shirts. Those who told us that they were registering and coming, they got t-shirts. How do we do that? Through our $500 bonus. So you make sure that if it's 10%, 15%, or whatever, don't spend that $500 bonus. Don't spend that $1,000 bonus. Make sure that you put aside some of that money to pour back into your team. You might want to get a journal, or maybe there's a training tape. You know what? Dr. Coakley said that we should earn enough money to sponsor 3 people from our team to come to the next event. So that's my goal, to earn enough money to sponsor 3 people who might not be able to afford it to attend the next event. But I'm just not going to give it to them. It might be people who are trying, or people who are new, or people who are maybe they had to spend their money for something else, because I'm looking for leaders. I'm not going to, and he told us, don't award people, don't award excuses. If someone has been giving you excuses for the last 90 days, don't go and pay for their trip. If someone never gave you a list, don't go and pay for their trip. If they're not following your leadership, then don't reward behavior that is not conducive to getting them ahead. But for those people that may have just gotten started, who need to see or feel the energy of the company, you want to definitely sponsor them. So what are your goals? What are your business goals? What are your personal goals? And absolutely be in a position to make it happen. Now, what are you reading? Because it's all in terms of what you have in your head. Write this down: the 7 habits of highly effective people. The 7 habits of highly effective people. He told us to study that book. Study it, not just read it, but study it. And I have read it. I've read it twice, but now it's time for me to study it. And another thing to study, your back office. Go into your back office and learn where things are in your back office. You know what? It was amazing. And they were talking about, someone actually raised their hand in our meeting and said, you know what? Y'all should develop a checklist for people when they get started. And they said, you mean like a 14-day checklist? And they said, yeah. And they said, have you checked your back office? We've already gotten that. So even people at the national builder and director level need to go to their back office. They were prescribing something that the rest of us knew that we had. We were like, well, it's right there in your back office. And everything, the game plan, everything, they went through things like that. They said, oh, you should go through the game plan. And Dr. Coakley said, no, because y'all are leaders. And we shouldn't have to go through the game plan when we went through it months ago. And we went through it. We did all kinds of training on it. When we put the document out, what you need to do is log into your back office and read. And you should tell your team, show your team where it is, so they can log into the back office and read. So I'm encouraging everybody to learn your back office and be able to communicate where things are. Communicate, because you want to communicate what's happening, what's going on with you, things that you're learning. Because again, 90% of winning is what? Between your ears. Leadership and learning are indispensable of each other, and duplication is the key. Your team will do what you do. Your team will do what you do. If you're reading, they're going to read. If you're going to if you study your back office, they're going to study their back office. If you download the presentation, they're going to download the presentation. So just know that they're watching you. Now, another thing that he talked about was the leadership mindset, having a leadership mindset, because leadership is not necessarily a title. Leadership is a whole mindset. It's just who you are and how you do things. And one of the first things you want to do is control the rock star within. Now, what does that mean? Control your ego. You shouldn't be your main cheerleader. Let's cheer somebody else on. Let somebody else do stuff. But also, he gives the example, like on that Martian movie. Y'all can tell me the name of it. I can't remember. Nick, what's the name of that movie? But that Martian movie where Men in Black, where 9 times out of 10, where they shoot the Martian, there's generally another little Martian that comes up that's the head and the ringleader around the big Martian. Well, that's the rock star. And so that's the person's ego. And so you want to make sure you're controlling your ego. Become obsessed with goal setting. Become obsessed. Once you write those goals down, become obsessed with it, because those goals are going to turn into daily goals. And so you want to say, oh, I'm not going to bed without doing if I need to meet 10 people every day, I am not going to bed without meeting 10 people every day. And I encourage you to make that a goal. Do what you got to do to meet 10 new people every day, and not just meet 10 new people. Give out 10 business cards. Give out, say, hey, definitely do that. Learn the script that Dr. Coakley says. Oh, the company I'm with is expanding. You start with a compliment. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful blouse. You're really sharp. The company I'm with is expanding, and maybe you can help me. We're looking for people, sharp people, who might want to make an extra $500 to $1,000 per week, and working from home. Who do you know that might want to make an extra $1,000 per week? Well, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say me, or they're going to say, oh, my cousin, and say, well, here's my card. How would I get in touch with you? And you write their names down, and you go and then after writing their names down, you want to collect 10 new people's names every single day. Every single day. Now, Juliet St. John has challenged us to actually collect 20. And she said, hey, if nothing else, print out 20 surveys and go out and get 20 surveys every single day. No matter what, find 20 people. She gave examples of meeting people in the grocery store, meeting people at the airport, meeting people, wherever you got to go, at the gas station, but collect 20 surveys per day. And by doing that, having them in your car, having them available, you will begin to reach your goal. So you want to become obsessed. You want to have a merger with your upline. What does that mean? Communicate. You want to be communicating with your upline on a daily, weekly basis. How are you doing with your goals? What's going on with because if you don't communicate with your upline, you're out there just floundering around. You're just, you're just doing whatever, and you're not on target. You're not with the team. And so you want to make sure you're communicating with your upline. Live your life right. You know what? Nobody's going to follow someone that is shaky or doing unethical things, or, you want to be honest. You want to be ethical. You want to live your life right. Don't cheat anybody, because number one, not only is it reciprocal, whatever you do to others will eventually be done to you, but you also want to make sure that no matter what, you're doing the right thing and being ethical and upfront and honest. Save your money and fix your credit. Y'all, this is a major thing. I was talking with one of the leaders, and they were saying that a lot of people pay cash at the door because they don't have credit cards or they don't have debit cards. A lot of people pay cash because a lot of people can't go on our trips because they can't afford it. They can't even get a credit card to reserve their space. They have to get somebody else to do the reservation for them. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to focus on saving our money and fixing our credit, because let me tell you, working in my environment, there's no way I could have been able to get my job if my credit wasn't right. So you having poor credit can hold you back from a lot of things. So the rest of that $500 bonus, take that and pay off a bill. And you don't want to pay it towards your highest debt. You want to pay it towards your lowest debt. Something, maybe a bill that's $50, pay that off and put it on your wall and say, oh, I paid that off. Why? Because you can celebrate. You can pat yourself on the back. It gives you some sense of accomplishment. And it may take 5 or 10 years to pay off your bill, but every time you pay something off, celebrate and give yourself a pat on the back. And we're going to be going through that, fixing your credit. Live in day tight compartments. What does that mean? Focus on what you can do today. Don't worry about next week. Don't worry about tomorrow. Focus on what you can do today. If you say, hey, I'm going to meet 10 people a day, focus on meeting those 10 people a day. If you're saying I'm going to do a presentation tonight and I'm going to have 2 guests, focus on getting those 2 guests. If you say, hey, I'm going to give out 2 vortexes, I'm going to get new customers, focus on doing that. If I'm going to get 10 new surveys, focus on doing that. No matter what, live in day tight compartments. Just focus on what you can do in that particular day and get it done. Focus on developing leaders. You want to focus on developing yourself as a leader, but you want other leaders to come behind you. Let me tell you, if you've got to tell people what to do all the time, they're not a leader. Check out how they take, when they get started, do they take initiative and go into their back office and take the training and print stuff out and go on and say, okay, are they calling you and saying, hey, I need to set up my go parties. I need to, according to the training, I need to do this or I need to do that. That's a leader. If you've got to tell somebody, number one, that, hey, you're going to be getting emails, make sure you check your emails. That's an indication of someone that may not be on that leadership track, but that doesn't mean they can't become a leader. They just may not be there yet. But you want to definitely set some goals and barometers and see if people are moving towards those goals. Showing up for events. Leaders show up for events. Leaders don't wait for someone to get them a ride. They call around and say, hey, do you have anyone? For instance, if there was someone who needed a ride to the event, we actually sent out the 3-way call list. There were several leaders on that call list that they could have called and said, hey, do you have someone in the DC metropolitan area that I might be able to ride with? Because does a leader depend on somebody else to find them a ride? Absolutely not. they could have definitely called out everybody on that three-way call list and say, hey, I am looking for a ride. I don't want to drive by myself. Do you have anyone in this area that I might be able to ride with? And out of those 10 leaders, I'm pretty sure they could have found someone. But if that person is way depending on you to find them a ride for the event so that they can go, that's not a leader, because a leader will say, look, let me try to make it whatever I got to do, even if I got to catch the train, let me go on and do that, or whatever, because the train goes right to Baltimore. And so there are different options, train, planes, and automobiles. Oh my goodness, speaking of leadership, we had a partner that actually got on a flight from Florida. The flight was delayed due to complications. They didn't get in until 1 o'clock in the morning. They didn't land until 1 o'clock in the morning. Then they got to the hotel about 2 a.m. And don't you know, they met me at the door when doors open at 8:30. Let me tell you, that was absolutely amazing. And she said, and I see that y'all have meetings in several different areas. I'm interested in starting a meeting in my area. She's in Florida. I actually introduced her to Roland Arturas, who has a team in that area. And he said, I will personally work with you and we can make this happen. So she wouldn't have been able to do that had she not showed up. That's leadership. Miss Rose Bro, you know what? She is learning. She is definitely challenged in terms of the computer, but she'll talk to anybody about this business. She'll give out flyers. She'll do whatever she has to do. She caught a flight from New Orleans and got there, did what she had to do to get there, and then turned around and left right after the event because she had to serve in church on Sunday. And so that's leadership. She did what she had to do. There are people that were right there in Baltimore, that were right here in the Maryland area that didn't come because of some crazy excuse. So is that leadership? Is that leadership? And so you have to look at that and just say, do you really, really want to win? So you want to focus in your team, focus on developing leaders and focus on who is exhibiting those leadership skills. You want to be a competitor. It should burn you in your gut when you see people on that chart that's actually beating your numbers. You should be so mad at yourself. You should be, look, I got to call somebody. You know what? When I saw that chart and we only had 2 on there, I told Nick, I said, look, we got to get our numbers up. We got to go and close out some more people. And we just focus. And, just because we focus, we closed out 3 new people. But let me tell you, before that, it was seeing that chart and our competitive energy. Did we make the 10? No. Do I still have people who say, I got about 4 people who are like, yeah, I'm going to get started. So they're still in the pipeline. But get this, I can't wait on them. I got to keep going. I got to keep talking to people. This is powerful. The next bullet point, negatives go up, positives go all around. What does that mean? If you've got something negative, then you call me, or you call Juliet St. John, or you call your team builder, or your regional builder, or your national builder. If you've got something negative to say, you call them. If you've got something positive to say, you can call them too, but make sure the positive energy goes down. Make sure you're only talking positive things to your team. You're only saying positive things to your prospects and your friends and family and the people that you know. So negatives go up because we're in a position to do something about it. Something's not working in your back office. If something seems to be awry, you can't find something, it's confusing. Let that come up so we can do something about it. Negatives, positives, make sure you circulate that throughout your team and throughout your community. Think and grow big. The last point, let me tell you, you want to shoot for the moon, because if you don't make it, at least you'll be among the stars. So think big. think big, have big goals, have big dreams, set big goals for the month. Because guess what? Even if you don't make it, like I said, I wanted to have 10 on the scoreboard. I didn't have 10, but we ended up with 4 or 5. And so I was like, okay, I just need to push a little harder and I need to do even more. And so you want to think and grow big. I didn't go out and meet my 10 people today because I had to work. But guess what? After this call, I'm going out and I'm going to meet 10 new people every single day. Before I come home, I am going to meet 10 new people and I'm going to give out flyers. I'm going to invite people to our weekly call. I'm going to do whatever I need to do. But no matter what, I want to think big and I want to grow big because we have goals and dreams and things that we want to do. And we want to help you as well. And so you want to go out and duplicate that. Now, some of the awards that were given for top performers, Surge365 awards, Carmen Haywood actually earned the most awards for her performance. She is absolutely knocking it out the park. And Charmaine Garnett actually won, I think, like 8 awards for top producers, top power team sales. Cherise Moses actually won several awards. Dawn Brewer won several awards. And then the Team Titans. We are a directorship team, Team Titans. Now, we are called the team of the misfits. Why? Because most of us are on that team have directors or leaders that have left the company. So they put us all together and they combined us and made us all one team, one dream. And we are the Team Titans. And so together, we're absolutely doing what we have to do to win. And so you are part of the Team Titans, the top director team in this last quarter. And so you want to make sure that you're giving yourself a pat on the back. You're showing up, you're doing what you got to do, but it's all based on SBA sales, tip sales, and top sales. So if you haven't gotten an SBA sale, a tip sale, or a top sale in the last 3 months, then you want to make sure that you don't you want to make sure that you change that within the next 3 months. You want to make sure that you write it down right now, set the goal and said, I will be a contributing member of the Team Titans within the next 3 months. Now, what are some updates? Okay, they updated the presentation and the format. It's still the same presentation, but they removed some slides and they kind of changed some things. And so our presentation now will be 2 parts. It will be the SBA presentation, the junior executive. Then there'll be a short break to allow people to sign up for the junior executive. And then we'll go right into the test drive. Now, you may have seen this done by Director Arlen Thompson. However, that is the format that we're doing, and they're changing the presentation so we can do it all in 1 hour. A presentation should not be longer than an hour. So we're going to do a short presentation for the junior executive SBA part. We're going to break for a few minutes and then immediately do that test drive. So make sure you tell your guests that the presentation is going to take about 45 minutes to an hour so that they know what to expect. And you do too. So make sure you're actually looking at these presentations. Now, also, we got an announcement, an exciting announcement. Write this down. The Surge convention event, it will be in Houston, Texas at the Sheraton, the airport location. Is going to be August 11th and 12th, 2023, in approximately 4 months. Registrations will be available soon in your back office. Log into your back office. However, if you want to, you can go on and reserve your hotel now. However, they have negotiated special rates for us, but you can definitely look around and see what the rates are, but also get some ideas of where you might want to stay if you don't want to stay in the host hotel. We encourage you to stay in the host hotel. Now, another announcement, the Surge365 experience, our travel experience, will be in Unico 2087 Riviera Maya. Let me tell you, that's going to be March 6th through 12th, 2024. Now, the resort details, the room selection, and the registration will be announced. However, I just want you to see what we have in store, because if you are as excited as I am, I know that you are absolutely going to be blown away. All right, y'all, it's an adults only, all-inclusive resort, absolutely amazing. You can go on YouTube and just find the various videos and stuff that feature Unico. It's just a beautiful resort, and every room comes with a host. What does that mean? You get your own butler. It is all inclusive and it's adults only. So unfortunately, children will not be on this excursion. It will be adults only. And so the Unico Riviera Maya, go to YouTube, look at some more photos, but definitely you want to make sure that you set your goal to be there. March of 2024. Go ahead and write it down, put it on your calendar. March of 2024, set your goal to be there. Now, announcements. You know there's going to be a contest, and all the directors are working on contests and that kind of thing. But no matter what, you want to prepare to win. You want to already say, hey, I don't want to pay for my room. I know I've already said, you know what? That last time we went to Mexico, I said, you know what? I told Nick, this is the last time we paid for our room. Next time we're coming for free. We're going to qualify to come for free. And so I encourage you to do the same. What does that mean? That means I'm going to have to change my whole mindset in what I do. But I do believe that there's nothing that I can't do if I put my mind to it. So that means you got to prepare to win. You got to prepare to win with your mind. You got to prepare to win with your time. You got to prepare to do what's necessary to win. And you want to make winning a habit. For us to win that contest, that means we got to win every week, every month. We got to always be winning to be able to win the contest. And to do that, we're going to have to achieve our daily goals. So when I'm setting my goals, I've got to set daily goals and make sure I achieve those goals. Like today, I work from home. I haven't left the house. That means I got a certain amount of time to meet 10 people today. If I got to go to Walmart, if I got to go wherever I got to go, if I need to take some surveys, I need to do that. But no matter what, I got to win. I can't depend on you guys. I can't depend on anybody else to reach my goals. I have to reach my goals. And guess what? It's a numbers game. It's the law of large numbers. The more people you speak with, the more times you'll win. The more people you talk to, the more chances you have to win. If you talk to that one person, they tell you no, guess what? That's it. But if you could talk to 100 people and one person tells you no, you got 99 other people to talk to. So I encourage you to talk to everybody, give everybody an opportunity. And I am going to repeat what Dr. Coakley tells us to repeat. Why? Because I'm looking for people who want to have fun, but I'm looking for people who want to make money as well. Because I know that although we're talking about travel, you can't travel if you broke. You can't even enjoy the resort if you go in there and you can't pay, you can't afford to spend any money or do anything, or you can't afford to stay in the host hotel. You can't, it's great to have travel agent rates. It's great because you should save your money. But if you win, then you can stay in the host hotel. You can experience the amenities. You can go to the spa. You can have that lifestyle. And now you're taking photos of the lifestyle that you want to enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a different experience. And I encourage you to absolutely talk to as many people as possible. We're creating a contest based on Director Juliet St. John's income producing activities. Some of you know about this, but what you want to do is get the full name, contact number, and email of 20 new prospects every week. Now, you can do that every week or you can do it every day. Juliet encouraged you to do it every day, but what if you do that every single week? If you do that, spread it between 5 days of the week, that's basically about 4 new contacts every single day. And so if you do that, you then of them get 3 prospects to watch the peak interest video on your mobile app. How do you do that? Tell them, hey, let me get your number, and ask them to put it in your phone. When they put it in your phone, just say, I'm going to send you a short video. I'd love to get your honest opinion. And ask them, do you get text messages at this number? And then show them the peak interest video. Now, what if you get a survey? If you get a survey and people fill out the survey, let me tell you, out of 10 surveys, you're generally going to have 1 person that wants to learn about the business. However, you do get information on the survey of where some places they might want to go. And so you can actually utilize that survey to build your database. So you can either do surveys, you can do business cards, you can do flyers, or you can do like us and just put it in your phone. Meet somebody, put it in your phone, put a note in terms of where you met them. Of course, get 3 prospects to watch the peak interest video, or ask them to listen to a sizzle call, whichever is most convenient for you. Get 5 prospects to a presentation, a live presentation, a one-on-one, a go party, a webinar. For instance, if we have a webinar that's available 24 hours a day and not enough people are using it, it's www.watchthisweb.com. www.watchthisweb.com. And it works. You know how it works? Because Karen, I don't know if y'all caught this on the last Juliet St. Called championship call. Karen said, and I used your webinar, and the majority, I was just excited and put people on your webinar, and it did everything for me. Now, I said, wow, Karen, somebody that's not on my team, is utilizing my webinar, and now she's the top salesman of the company in March. She was the top salesman by utilizing my webinar. And there are people on my team that have never put anybody on that presentation on my webinar. Everybody should be able to use it. www.watchthisweb.com. I know Vincent Payton uses that webinar because it's available 24 hours a day. I know Miss Tommy uses that webinar. I know Michelle Stevenson Thomas used to use that webinar. And I know Michelle McDaniel has used that webinar as well. But not as many people need to use that webinar have gotten people on that webinar. It's available 24 hours a day, so they get to choose when they want to watch it. And go to www.watchthisweb.com. I want us to wear it out. Wear it out. Use that webinar. Get 5 prospects on a presentation. You can also invite them to a weekly meeting. Get 3 prospects on a 3-way call. After they watch that webinar, get them to speak to somebody in the business. We have a 3-way call list. You can call anybody on that list, but get them to speak. Get out of the way. And even if you can answer their questions, don't answer it. Let them speak to somebody else. Get 3 prospects on a 3-way call. And guess what? If you do that, you will make at least 1 tip or top sale in your team builder group every single week or every single month, however you want to do this. I suggest you get 20 new prospects every week. Get 3 to watch the peak interest video, 5 to get on a presentation, get 3 on a 3-way call, and you will get at least 1 to 2 new signups every single week. And so you want to definitely do that, and do that as over and over and over. Get a system where you're doing that over and over again. So Juliet St. John is telling you what you got to do to win. They're telling you. She's telling you, she said, this is what I did. It's a numbers game. If you want to do it, do it. Will everybody be interested? Absolutely not. But will you eventually get more confident? Yes. Will you learn how to answer objections? Yes. Will you learn how to get people to watch the webinar? Yes. Will you begin listening to what it is that they want? Yes. Will you just be better and more professional in this business? Absolutely. Will you now become a consistent bonus earner? Absolutely. Now you're attracting other people as well. And so you can be a travel agent. Anybody can be a travel agent. That's cool. But if you truly want to change lives, if you want to make that serious income, you want to begin building your business. What are some things you want to do? You want to make it a habit of being on the coaching call every Monday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So 9:30 p.m. Eastern is 8:30 p.m. Central, is 7:30 p.m. Mountain, and 6:30 p.m. Pacific. So you want to make sure you have it in your phone. I know I have it programmed on my calendar in my phone so that I get a notice, oh, it's time to get on the coaching call, so that I'm on that call every single week, because there are definitely key nuggets shared and also updates and information. I'm pretty sure Juliet tonight is probably going to announce her contest tonight in terms of what she's going to offer. But I'm telling you, that will correspond with our contest as well. And so we're going to wrap that thing. I'm going to talk to Nick in terms of what we're going to offer, because we intend to be earning all kinds of bonuses. And again, we want to make sure that we're putting those back into our team to motivate others. And as you win things, as you win that $500 bonus, pour it back into your team and absolutely reward those people that are helping you achieve your success. On Tuesdays in the DMV in Greenbelt, we expect to see you at the business reception. This is a weekly business event that we expect to see you at. Every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m., be at the IHOP boardroom. Now, we're growing out of that room. I anticipate having to find a new room by next month. But get this, but for right now, it's absolutely free to attend. We just ask you to buy a soda or a beverage or something. But come and bring your guests. Don't come by yourself. If you bring a guest, you come to earn. If you don't bring a guest, you come to learn. So we're going to be having training. We're going to do the presentation. We're going to actually have training after the presentation as well. So on Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m., you want to be there. You can RSVP by letting me know at 202-642-6633. Let me know if you're going to come. I want this tomorrow, Nick and I will be doing the presentation, and we need you there. We need you there. We need our team and guests to fill that room. So definitely text me or call me and let me know, and I'm going to be there. Or, hey, I can't be there tomorrow, but I'll definitely be there next week. And so Tuesday nights, definitely put that down, put that on your calendar and make an effort to be there. Now, I know everybody is not in the DMV area, so make an effort to be on our virtual travel party on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern is 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific. So make sure you make an effort, but also schedule your own virtual travel parties for you and your guests. Schedule them. Make sure that you've got your own virtual travel party. It can be on any day of the week, but make sure you are coordinating your own virtual travel parties as well for your guests. But you want to be on these. Why? Because you want to learn how it goes. You want to say, oh, let me see what happens on a virtual travel party. Let me see how to introduce myself, how to introduce the speaker. Let me see how to welcome my guests. So you want to make sure you're on that, but you want to make sure you have your guests on that and invite them. Don't invite somebody one time, invite them over and over and over and over again. Let's say you know somebody in the Maryland area. Call them up and say, hey, are you close to Greenbelt? If they say yes, just say, hey, you got to be there on Tuesday and represent me. This is going to be absolutely amazing. You got to see what I'm into. I think you're really going to love it. And tell them that to come on out and to get in touch with Nick or Ann, and we're going to take care of your guests. So whether you come to the travel party, Tuesday travel party live, or the Thursday virtual travel party, you want to be committed to be at one of these events every single week, whether you have a guest or not. For instance, again, when you have a guest, you earn. When you don't have a guest, you learn. And so you want to be there with bells on, with a smiling face, with the video on, and be ready to absolutely enjoy the event. Now, with that being said, that is it for our presentation this evening. That's about all I wanted to share with you. There are going to be some other things coming down the pipe. You don't want to miss it, but those were most of the announcements and everything through this Baltimore event. And let me tell you, there's no way I can capture the excitement. If you want a banner, and it says, you can go and look at it. It says, the only thing missing is you. Definitely get in touch with one of the leaders. We have banners available for $10. They're available and they're ready. And so if you like one to market your business, and they're meant for you to be out and about taking pictures. I know I'm in DC, so I'm going down to the monument. I told Nick, I said, we're going down to the monument and we're going different places. We're going to whitewater rafting, or whatever that falls is, Great Falls. Only thing missing is you, and different places around town, and taking pictures with our banner. Why? Because we want to post it, and we want people to say, oh man, what is it that you do? Oh, I'm interested in learning more about your business. And so this is to be used as a marketing tool to show people, wow, I'm in the travel industry, and to evoke those questions. What is it that you do, to give you an opportunity to actually give them an opportunity to see what it is that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to open it up for any issues, questions, comments, or concerns. Did we have any issues, questions, comments, or concerns? Now, who is Success? We have Success registered out here. Would you please introduce yourself? Registered as Success. Please unmute the line and let us know who you are. Success, who are you? Who's registered as Success? Okay. All right, here we go. That's our new rule. If we ask you to unmute yourself and you don't unmute yourself,
they were talking, but it was like they were so far away from the mic, you couldn't understand them.
Okay. Well, here we go. So this is another thing that we're doing, because what we're finding is that we're having other people, other teams, even if if you have a guest, then people should know, you should know who's on our call. This is a team call. And so we want to know who's on our call, because we do have other members, but they've asked to be a part of to get the information. So if someone gets on our call and they're not willing to introduce themselves and tell us who they are, then that gives me a particular message. And we're now going to begin removing those people when they log in and they're not willing to introduce themselves. So make sure that if we ask you to introduce yourself, make sure you either put it in the chat or you let us know, hey, Ann, this is such and such. I can't, I'm logging in from another phone or whatever, but we want to keep this call clean and for our teams, this information that we're using. So make sure that you're in, and make sure you tell your teams and your guests when they come on a virtual presentation, be prepared to introduce themselves, and at the bare minimum, tell us who invited them. Who invited them, because we want to make sure that we get that follow-up, and we want you to know that your guest showed up. So tell them, hey, when you get on, I get points for this. So make sure that your guests are showing up. We're going to have several different contests. And one of the contests this month will be how many people we're going to be tracking, how many guests we're getting on presentations, how many guests are coming out to the meeting, how many guests are coming to our virtual presentation, and and who's inviting them, who's really inviting. And so that we're going to have prizes for those people who are getting guests on our virtual presentations. Now we're going to have more virtual presentations. I'm going to ramp up and start doing the travel parties, the team travel parties on Sundays. Get ready, because I'm going to look for various hosts to have a team travel party this Sunday. So this is Monday. So you got 7 days, well, six days to invite for the team travel party this Sunday at 4 o'clock Eastern time, which is going to be 3 o'clock Central time, 2 o'clock Mountain time, 1 o'clock Pacific time. So you want to make sure you get your guests on and make sure that they are ready and go. I will do the theme and the invite tonight. If you send me your photo, if you want to be a host, send me your photo. I'll make sure I put your photo on the flyer so you can invite your guests. And the person that has the most guests, over three, the person that has the most guests over 3 at that travel party on Sunday will get a $50 gift card from me. The person who has the most guests over 3. Now, if you have 4, if you have it, but one person does not introduce themselves, guess what? We're not gonna count them. So let them know and then guess what? We're going to change it, that we're not going to give people a 3-day, 2-night vacation voucher for showing up. Because what's happening is people are just getting online and they're not really listening to the presentation, or they're not interested, or they just say, well, I just showed up for the vacation voucher, or, they're multitasking. What we're going to do is any guest that actually gets started at any level, if they get started at the $79 level, or they get started at the tip or the top level, then they get a 3-day, 2-night vacation. That's when they'll get a 3-day, 2-night vacation. But we just don't want a whole bunch of people showing up that's not paying attention, they're not muted, and they're being disruptive, as opposed to being really wanting and getting the information. So invite, and those people who get started will absolutely get a 3-day, 2-night vacation, whether it's the $79 level, the tip, or the top level. And so hopefully that will make us, what the result will be, that we will be presenting to people who actually want the information, that are actually interested, and don't just show up to get a 3-day, 2-night vacation and don't listen to the presentation anyway. So we're all about results. And so we're going to put this in place to get results. I encourage you to learn an effective way to give out your vortexes There's a system to it. If you just send it out, 9 times out of 10, people are not going to register. But you want to have an effective way to follow up and give out your vortex so people register and they can actually experience the discounts. They can actually get registered and get in the system and utilize your system so you can make money, because that's the whole point. All right, were there any issues, questions, comments, or concerns? Is anybody excited? Was there anything that I said that you're absolutely excited about?
I think everything. I'm excited about everything. Everything.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
honest.
Deborah, did you say something?
I said I'm excited about everything you just said.
All
You're
right,
very
all right,
extremely,
everybody.
you're
This is
motivating. It's all about teamwork, and it's all about having confidence that, you know, there may be times that people say no, but there's more yeses out there than there are no's. So, you know, be confident and not get discouraged. But again, teamwork, and also let other people make other people shine like rock stars, which is in turn going to make you shine like a rock star.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
And you do an awesome job on that one right there.
Awesome, awesome. I'm glad you got, everybody picks up different things. So I'm glad you got that nugget. Miss Tommy asked about where to get the surveys. The surveys, if you go to our Facebook group, if you go to the file cabinet, the surveys are in the file cabinet. And if you go to our director's site, surgechampions.com, www.surgechampions.com, and look under resources. There's surveys there as well. So you can either go to our Facebook group and go to the file cabinet, or go to www.surgechampions.com, surgechampions.com, and look under resources, and you will find all kinds of resources, including the surveys on that tab as well. All right. Did we have great question? Did we have any more? Were there any more questions? Any more comments? What did you get from this? All right, Miss Tommy. I just love Miss Tommy. Anybody else? All right. Anybody else? Did I cut someone off? All right, were you listening? Well, if you weren't listening, if you were multitasking, this is being recorded and you have the opportunity to hear it again. I'd love to hear from our director, our national builder, Harvey Zay. Harvey, if you're in a position where you can talk, I know you've been in this game for quite some time, and I know that you have definitely done some phenomenal things with this company. What can you add in terms of, with our team, in terms of making sure that they're successful? Harvey Zay, are you out there? Or are you multitasking? Can you unmute? All right, well, it sounds like Harvey Zay is in a position where he can talk. Also wanted to hear from anyone else. Did y'all have any issues, questions, comments, or concerns? I want to give kudos and high fives to Miss Hazel Giles, because she is constantly, absolutely exposing her business to people. And I know she's on her way to becoming getting to her next level of 3 and free team builder and doing what she has to do. Also, Miss Tracy Norfleet is also constantly exposing her business, just got a brand new partner. And your partner actually showed up this weekend. So congratulations. She is absolutely excited about our business, always learning, about to have her travel parties, and definitely about to take her business to the next level. So Miss Tracy Norfleet, congratulations and great leadership, just in terms of what you're showing her and telling her how to do as well. Anybody else have any issues, questions, comments, or concerns? Nick Brown, did you have any closing comments? Michelle Thomas? Is everybody multitasking? Am I just talking to myself right about now?
Nope, it just seems like it's hard.
No, I'm not
The
multiplayer. I'm
Zoom
in the
is
store. I
going
just
in
can't.
and
This
out.
is
And I don't know
Michelle.
what's going on, the
Can you hear
Zoom
me?
gods or whatever work. But I just want to say to everybody online, hey, it's time for us to go to work. Time for you to go and achieve those goals. So we're here to help and support you. So as Jay Johnson would say, let's go, 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 go be it so we can get it done. Back to you.
All right, all right. Okay. Thank you so much, Nick Brown. Michelle Thomas, I know you said you were in the store. Did you have any closing comments?
No, I'm just excited about everything that we're getting ready to do, and I'm looking forward to going to the next level and being in that contest and getting those results, and being at that resort next year and having the company pay for it, like you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, all right. Michelle McDaniel, did you have any closing comments?
No, everyone said it all, and I'm just excited about what's about to happen next.
All right, all right, all right. Miss Antoinette Everett, I know you were trying to make it this weekend and things didn't work out. Did you have any closing comments for us?
No, I don't. I'm actually texting someone now that just texted me.
All right, all right. Well, definitely did get them on that presentation. Definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to her again. I'm just reminding her that the presentation that I sent to her previously, she can go back and watch that.
Awesome,
So yeah.
awesome. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, y'all. Remember, write down, watch this, www.watchthisweb.com, and send it to as many people as possible. As soon as I get it, I send it back to you guys and say, this person watched it, this person didn't watch it, follow up with them, see what you need to do. But don't just send it out a blanket invitation. You want to have a conversation. You want to say something like, hey, remember, I know, remember you said you wanted to be able to pay off those hospital bills. I think I might have something that might help. I'm gonna send you a link. I want you to watch it, because now you have their interest, because that's what they need. And so let's say, hey, you remember how you wanted to put that group together to go on a pilgrimage to Mecca? Well, definitely I got a link for you, and it's fundingbytravel.com, www.fundingbytravel.com. A lot of nonprofits and other organizations are raising money through the travel industry. You might want to send that to any organization or your minister or anybody that's looks for missions and that kind of stuff. www.fundingbytravel.com. And so that's another tool for you to use that actually explains how our business can be used to make money to be able to give and support the kingdom as well. So with that being said, y'all, I want to thank you so much for joining us on this call tonight. Remember, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time is we are going to get on the line, make sure we show up in droves on the line for Juliet St. John's call. Juliet St. John, the Surge Champions call. Put it in your calendar. Put it in your phone and let it remind you. Put the number in your phone so it can remind you to definitely get on that call. And don't depend on remembering. I know I can't. And so if I get absorbed doing something else, I depend on my alarms. I depend on my calendar to remind me what it is that I have to do. So I encourage you, make that a staple, make that a commitment, make it a habit of showing up on that call. And don't just show up at the time. Make sure Juliet hears your name every single week. Don't think she's not paying attention. So make sure she hears your name every single week of who actually is coming on that call. Say your name loud and proud. And so you want to get on probably about 5 minutes early to be able to say your name loud and proud and where you're from. So with that being said, y'all, thank y'all for joining us. I am absolutely flat out excited, and I'm looking forward to getting each one of you to your next level. Each one of you where it is that you want to go. And if you're coachable and teachable and willing to ask for help, not try to do it by yourself, not feel like, oh, I know what I'm doing, I got it all, and not getting any results. But definitely, if you want results, let's definitely make it happen. So get in touch with me, get in touch with your team builder, your regional builder, and say, hey, I want to win, and I want to make sure I win this trip, because it takes some couple of weeks to ramp up. Let me just tell you that it doesn't just happen. I can meet 10 people today, 10 people tomorrow, 10 people. But by the time I contact those people and get them on presentations, it generally takes, when I meet a person, it generally takes 3 to 4 weeks after I meet them for them to get started. Just remember that. 9 times out of 10, it generally takes 3 to 4 weeks or 3 to 4 presentations before that person makes the decision to get started. So if you meet somebody this week, don't have the expectancy of them to get started until at least give them at least 2 or 3 weeks to take a look at our business, which means you want to keep inviting them to things. They need to see things. Perfect example, Miss Deborah. How many presentations were you on before you decided to get started? How many presentations do you think you saw? I think you saw at least 3.
Yes, 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 very true. Yes, about 3.
There we go. And it wasn't back to back, y'all. And so think about how you got started. You probably saw a couple of presentations before you got started. So don't think that just because you meet somebody, they're going to get started that week. It takes some follow-up. Hey, what did you like best? And invite them to another event, or to send them a YouTube video, or send them something else. You know, we have all kinds of tools, but just be realistic in terms of your goals and dreams, because it takes some time. So with that being said, y'all have a good night and God bless. Thank you for joining us on this call. And I look forward to seeing you at the top. At the very top is going to be the tip top, because the bottom is much too crowded. I'll hear you on Juliet's St. John's call at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, 7:30 Pacific, no, 7:30 Mountain, and 6:30 Pacific time.
Yes,
Good night.
yes.
God bless.
God bless. Bye.
Bye-bye.